all have technical difficulties, even me. And welcome to the live stream. And today we are going to talk about Audioroot Neo batteries, the eSmart lithium 96 Neos that I just picked up. And I have a big old wide here so you can see what's here. And then I also have this GoPro set up so we can do the kind of close-up actions where you can see this battery and so forth. So let me start off by saying hello to everyone and thank you for being here. This is really, we're just hanging out. I just picked these things up. I've been using the NP batteries for the old school ones. I think they're 68 watt hour for 8 years. I got them in 2012 and they've been great, but recently, like sometime last year, they started, I noticed one of them wasn't getting a proper life out of it, and I said, okay, well, this is about toast because it's 8 years old. And so I marked it. The other ones seemed to be fine, but I'm just like, okay, it's probably time to change the bunch. So first, let me check in with you guys and say hello, make sure everyone can hear me. I'm doing something a little different for audio today. All of my gear, all of it is on a 24-foot trailer somewhere on a stage, and I needed everything for what it is I'm currently doing. So I was kind of cobbling this setup together, and one of the channel members had suggested that when I start all the videos that I always talk about my setup and what it is that I'm doing, especially from a sound standpoint. So for the audio on this one, I'm going to show you that I have a lav here, a hard line going directly into a ATEM Mini, and you can see here that is connected right there to the back, and that was what I was kind of struggling with. Kind of ironic, it was the sound that was having me run behind today. But this is the Deity W Lav. Andrew Jones was kind enough to send me this in the micro lav to try out. I just happen to have it in the case. And so that's what you're listening to right now, going directly into the ATEM Mini. And what's pretty cool about the ATEM Mini, I'll show you guys here, is if I can get to the right screen. I'm going to go to the screen share here and go into where you can see the ATEM Mini. This is me trying to figure out what's going on here. So let me get to the right screen here. Bearing with me, guys. Zoom app to, unlock. That's why I don't see anything. So there it is. So this here is the audio input of the ATEM Mini, which is mic level, and it looks like it is providing the 3 to 5 volt necessary for the lav coming in here, and I actually have it split to mono. And I'll show you what that looks like in the settings here. There is a split audio function which will allow a mono source to send to the left and right. For some reason it wasn't working when I just set it up. And then to make things even more interesting and cool, here's your trim level here. And then you also have a master output level. And then we have some delay. So let's get that. About a 6 frame or 5 frame delay. So sorry about the delay. Let me go back here and you guys tell me if it is right. So now I should be in sync. So this is a very basic setup, but what's interesting about the ATEM Mini is, Blackmagic makes some cool stuff. I have the SmartView Duos on set that I use, and a lot of the video assists using Q-Take. I can easily get 4 monitors out of the 2, so I don't need one of these 3-4 monitor setups because no one's really using the Raptor anymore that doesn't allow you to do that. And Blackmagic bought Fairlight. So what I was trying to show you, and I'll try again here, is here on the audio controls we have an EQ, and this is just like the Fairlight systems. And then I also have built-in dynamics as well, compressor, limiters, gates, and everything you would want. So I mean, that's kind of cool. And you're just listening to it raw. I haven't done anything to it, just like a good production mixer. Leave that to post, except there is no post on this. So let me first start by checking in with you guys. Make sure everybody can hear me and it sounds fine. And the reason why I asked that in the first place before we get into these eSmart lithium batteries is that the only way you can monitor the A10 Mini is through an HDMI out. Meaning I can't go into the software and monitor from the software. And I think that has to do with that they have other hardware that they hope that you might buy, which I'm not buying. So let me know everyone can hear everything okay, sounds decent, all that good stuff in the comments before we move forward. And we're going to talk about what's going on with the eSmart batteries, the lithium 96 Neos. So I wanted to change out, I had 3 systems. So I currently have 4 smart batteries, 2 with my X3 that came with it that are 48 watt hour. And then I have 2 more remote audio versions, whatever their 48 watt hour brand is. But then I have my small cart, which is the Super Zuka, which a lot of you guys have seen with the 688CL12, which is the gear I retired off the main cart to build a second cart, a lighter, smaller, faster cart. And that was using the NP battery. And then I had, of course, an NP battery eliminator for AC power, which is important on set because after a long day, you don't want to be unplugging and unplugging those. So, and then from there, I had the small bag, which I use for insert work typically, vehicles, drop stuff, simple things, which is a 633 with the old NP battery, 68 watt hour system that we're all familiar with. So here, as you can see, I got 3 of the eSmart, and might as well use this GoPro here while I talk to you. This is, let me get it the right orientation, bearing with me, sorry about the dizziness on the camera. This is the Audioroot eSmart Lithium 96 Neo, and right off the bat, a couple features of this that impressed me. So it's about, I'm trying to do the math here, about 28 more amp hours than the other one. It also has a cap here that comes off of the battery, and I like this because I used to tape the terminals on my old NP batteries, and having a cap right away was a bonus. So I'll put that back on here. And now this battery, what makes this different than the earlier versions that they have is that you can actually, it has more telemetry functions on it. So the first thing I'm going to show you about this battery, and I purchased 3 of them because I had 3 NPs for my other system, is to read the telemetry when it's not plugged into a source. What you do is you simply shake it. So by shaking the battery, you can see the telemetry. And what you're going to see here, and I'm seeing if this will focus with the GoPro. I'm looking at it, guys, to see if we can have any luck with GoPro focus. No, I'm trying to find the minimum focus. Okay, so what that is here, it says 26%, and then it says 1 cycle, 22.5 degrees Celsius. And I know it's really difficult to read here, but what's important to understand, first things first, is without the battery being plugged into any source, the telemetry tells you the remaining battery life, which here you can see 26%. And this bar here, the thick blue right here, that's 26%. It would be all the way if it was 100. And then you see it's only been charged for 1 cycle. I haven't even done a charge on this. And then 22.5 degrees Celsius is the temperature of the battery itself. Okay. So the size is a little smaller than my other NP batteries, and some of the other things that it does through reading, and we'll look at the site together, is that when you plug it into a power source, you can see how much voltage or amps you are pulling with the equipment you're using without what's called an SMB bus. And what that means is you don't have to have an 8 series recorder or something like that in order to know specifically how much time you have left with this particular battery with the equipment you're using, because I use the remote audio BDS systems like a lot of you guys do. And these are just the connectors for the smart battery to the 4-pin input of the BDS. I got three or four of those for the different systems. So that's big because it allows me to get the telemetry that I need without having to have the their BDS system, their proprietary BDS system from Audioroot, which looks amazing, by the way, because it takes a 4-pin connector to get that information. So the 2-pin pole that we typically find on the standard like remote audio BDSs can't do that. And any piece of equipment you plug it into, and you can see how much draw and how much time left. And that was cool because I was going to buy another brand, the remote audio brand, and they said, I got it from True, and they said, well, we don't have it in stock, but we have these. And I looked on the website and I was like, oh man, that's a no-brainer. So that's the first piece of equipment I want to show you. And I'm going to go here, and now we're going to look at the site. And let's get to the screen share here, and let's get to the right view. I know you're looking at the A10 minis, but bear in with me. We are going to change that to the Audioroot site here, and I'm going to do that to Safari. There it is. Now you're looking at the site together. So here is the eSmart Lithium 96neo, and hopefully we can get this thing to stop moving. You know how these automated things, and you can see here, this is the battery life, this is the voltage, 14.15 volts. This is how many amps it is drawing. So currently this battery says 0.307 amps or 0.307 amps. Like, to give you an idea, like a 688 probably draws around maybe 2.5 amps. And then the battery life remaining on this one is 5 hours and 59 minutes on that amount of those amps here that are being pulled based on the percentage. And keep in mind here that the features of this Neo that I really, really like, that I'm really excited about, and why I changed over to this, is it is SM bus compatible with the fuel gauge, but it doesn't require you to have that equipment in order to read the telemetry that you would want to, have. But there is some information, interesting information in here. So you're looking at about 500 charges, and you're going to be at 70% of its initial capacity after 500 cycles. And I also read somewhere, oh, look at this. In standard charging and discharging method, including 30 minutes rest after each charge. So to really get the performance that they're talking about, they're suggesting that the batteries rest for 30 minutes after you charge. Not something I typically do. Maybe, it just kind of depends. Things move pretty quick on set, as you guys are aware. And but I mean, there's not much more to this particular battery here, except this would be great for you guys who are using the standard BDS systems that use, because this is compatible with everything, and you get the telemetry built right in. And it was like, and the price point for these I think was around $130 US is what I paid for this. So that's that one. And you know what threw me off too, when they first started saying, here, I'll show you here. When I talked to the sales guy at True, he said you have to shake the battery to see the telemetry. And my first thought was, that's kind of weird. Why would I don't want to shake the battery to see, can't they just put a button on it? But see, if you shake, and you see there's the telemetry. But keep in mind though, if it's plugged in to a, if you're powering something with it, then the OLED, and that's an OLED, by the way, so you'll be able to see it in the direct sunlight. You'll be able to see the information you need to see all the time. And what my favorite feature of this battery, without a doubt, besides the fact that it's 28 amp hours more than my old NP battery, is that I can see how much time I have left. Versus the other one, which is like 3, you press the button, it tells you like how many dots, you know the deal. So this is going to be a very, very useful tool. Now, I didn't just get the 3 batteries. What I did is I said, okay, I need to replace all of my battery systems at once that are using these BDS systems. So since I had 3 NP1s, then I needed 3 of these to start. And super stoked with these. So just, so what else do we need? Well, we obviously need a charger. So let's open that up. So I have a charger for the smart batteries that is, what is it? It's for the Kantar batteries. The problem is the orientation is the wrong way, so they can't stand straight up. So it would be like at an angle this way. And I thought that would be bad for the battery and the connectors. So I said, nope, let's not do that. And this is the battery. Now I wish I had the old NP battery box to show you the charger for the NP1s, because it's literally like that big. It is huge. But this little bad boy right here also has an OLED display on it. I can see if I can get some power to it real quick and plug something in if I got another plug available. But obviously you need a charger. I like that it's small and portable. I will say, if you look on the website, and let's go here to back to the Audioroot website and look for under products. You can see, is it under, oh, battery chargers. There's some other options here. There's also the quad charger. And I saw that and I was like, curse word. I just was like, oh, maybe 4 would have made sense. Because I've got, with 3 of these, and then plus 2, 5, 7, I'm actually trying to do basic math here. I've got 7 of these batteries. So you guys know how charging is, especially if you're prepping for something that's like happening the next day. Like, you want to put all your batteries and go. You don't want to have to be like, okay, take those off, put those on. I'm all about like having as much. So maybe, but this one's real portable. So I guess that's the trade-off right there. But it seems like the French make the coolest stuff. This company's out of France. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, hey, I upgraded to the Audioroot stuff years ago. You're way behind the 8 ball. Well, maybe. But the truth is, I'm going to show you actually what the telemetry looks like on this. Sorry, I promised to plug this in and I failed you guys. So along with the batteries, I also have some other stuff to show you, that battery charger, some other things to show you that are very important with the battery system. One final big thing for this. So how many of you guys, just curious in the comments, used the NP1s for a lot of years and switched over to this? How many of you just started using the eSmart batteries and didn't ever really use the NP1s because you started working at a time where this technology was already there? I'm just curious. I got 8 years out of my NP1, so I think I got my money's worth, and I hope to get 8 more years out of this system. So I'm going to try to plug this in. Now, keep in mind I'm hardwired with a lav, so I'm trying not to fall apart here. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to, I can't remember last time I hardlined a lav into an input like this. Jeez. Okay, so I am going to unplug this and then plug this in. Okay, so here's the charger. Oh wow! Oh, see, you just missed the cool light display. So okay, I'll show you here. Okay, so when it powered up, let's put a battery in here so you can see what's actually happening here, and we can start charging anyway as I throw everything everywhere. Sorry about this GoPro, guys. I know it probably makes you nauseous just to look at these cameras moving like this. I know it would me. All right, so it's seated here in the charger, and now, oh man, look at those cool colors, and I'm all about the lights myself. Man, now I know what everyone was talking about. All these young cats were like, oh man, you got to check out this, you got to check out the smart batteries. That's the way to go. And I'm like, oh, it's going to cost me $2,000 just to get a few of them and the charger and everything I need. But that's why I try to move everything at once. But yeah, that charger looks great. And let's take a look at one more time on like what it is doing. And this is my first time plugging any of this stuff up. So let's see here. Let's turn it on one more time and see. And see what it says specifically. Okay, so we have, it says 26% charged, and then it's 14.52 volts. 2.033 amps is how many amps it's giving it to charge, is what I am guessing as I look at it. That's the information that I'm getting on the 2.833 amps. That's how much amperage it's giving to it in order to do this full charge. And it's a super lightweight. Like I could see totally putting this in a Pelican or something like this. So this charger is very cool. Let me clean up my workspace. I'm embarrassing myself here with all this garbage. See, I throw it off screen where no one can see anything and you don't have to worry about it. So caps, we talked about that. So we've got more stuff. Let's keep moving here. So before I do, let me check in with you guys and see what the hell is going on. All right. Hey, Martin. Thanks for being here. Chris, good to see you, man. I saw this one. Chris says, let me put that down here where it goes. Sounds great, Michael. This is where we were talking about the audio, because I have no idea how this deity sounds into this A10 Mini. John, yeah, sound level is good, but I hear some hum on the low frequency. John, I know you probably have one of those like badass studios you're listening to this in, so thank you for that. But I wonder is there a ground hum? Because if there is, let me know, guys, because I'm just interested. I don't know. You know, it's a mic or line level input into a balanced input here into the A10 Mini. So let me know about that. And Joan, and then hey Greg, long time no see, buddy. Oh, do these work with the same NP1 cup? No, they do not. That would be awesome if it did, but it does not. And I'm glad you asked that, Greg, because this is the new cup. And let me let you guys take a closer look and see how that looks. I'm going to open it up and then use the other camera to. Usually I have an overhead camera, but the C-stand that I use for that is what's my antenna mast on my main cart for the show I'm on right now. So, you know, I like to use things for different purposes. But let's get this. So we're stuck with the GoPro. Okay, this is the cup, which is a custom cup, and it looks like a 5-pin connector, Greg. And this side, this is a remote audio 4-pin connector that goes directly into your BDS. And Greg, it's important to think about, and you probably already know this, obviously, but the thing with the Neo, it tells you telemetry. So you don't need the BDS from them or an 8 series recorder or something like that to see how much time you have left, how much power draw is happening. This will tell you on the battery with your whole system, which is big, because I'm a modular thinker. It's rare that I like go, oh, I'm just going to buy a whole new system so I can have telemetry. You know, it's more like, okay, hey, my battery's got used for 8 years. What can I buy that I can use for another 8 years so I get the most out of my investment? Probably like a lot of you guys think. So yeah, good question, Greg. Thanks for asking. All right, good to see you too, by the way. All right. Yep, Chris confirms that. No, it's different. And you know, I'm kind of, the other thing too is the just through the off and on and stuff like that, my NP cups literally have started to fall apart. So they were also at the end of their life. There you go. Ah, GFS Sound. Man, that's a badass logo. I love that. Man, I'm jealous of that cool logo. I have something cool like that, you know. So anyway, I was thinking 4-bay for the workshop and 2-bay for the charging case. I'm about to make the switch from MP1. Yeah, GFS Sound, you won't regret it. And that makes sense. I mean, my first instinct was, hey, oh, I should just return the 2-bay and get the 4-bay. It's like, you know what, maybe I keep a 4-bay here and 2-bay on the way. And I've got a Pelican charging case for, what is it for? Nickel metal hydride AA's, and also the lithium 9-volt iPower batteries, which I use in the Comtex and Electro IFBs, and then the nickel metal hydrides are in the comm systems for the crew, and the slates, and my Betso TCX2s. And then the only thing I use the lithium batteries for is for talent right now. Note though, something I learned, I was recycling, this is completely off track, but I mean, definitely not off track. It's actually very related to batteries. Did you guys know that alkaline batteries are not recyclable because of the glue used? I learned that at a trusted recycling center source that recycles everything here in Atlanta, like stuff that the city won't, no one else won't. They'll take batteries, they don't charge you for it. They'll do lithium and nickel metal hydride. They'll even recycle these, but there's something about the glue in them that keeps alkalines not being recyclable. So I don't use alkalines anymore for anything because of that. Now there might be some place that can do it, but just not the one I go to. So that's all I needed to hear. Batteries should always be recycled. And another thing that I do is I put it on the expendables list for production. 5-gallon bucket, recycle, price TBD. No one ever argues it, because I want them to, I can either take it myself after I'm done with the show, or providing I know it's going to be responsibly dealt with, which is 50-50. Usually they can send it to Gotham Sound, True Audio, and pay them to have it professionally recycled, because batteries are really bad for landfills, guys, and you guys know that. You're all responsible people. Thank you, GFS. Good plan. I think I'm going to follow you with the battery plan and the cool logo. Okay. Chris says, going on 4 to 5 years with my current MP1s. Battery check buttons have cracked and fallen apart. I'm getting ready to upgrade soon to smart batteries. Yeah, I don't blame you. But you know, it's interesting to me, Chris, that yours fell apart, like the hardware on the battery. I never had that experience with them, man. That's too bad you couldn't get more years out of those, but 4 to 5 years isn't bad. I mean, that's pretty damn good, actually. All right. Ketty Heidel, and I butchered your name. I'm sorry. Worked quite a lot with Fostex PD4 DAT recorder in NP1B 20 years ago. Now I use Audioroot with my Mixpre 10.2 on field recording. That's awesome. And man, I'm not going to hijack this battery stream for a Mixpre story that I have to tell you sometime. And that's pretty badass. These recorder, I just got another one over here, and like I said, I'm not going to hijack it, but stay tuned, because I did something with the Mixpre 3 last week that was just insane, and it was so awesome. It just got me so excited about being a sound person again. Okay, so Marco, I'm at college, but they got the NP batteries. That's good, Marco. Those NPs are solid, and I got a lot of years out of them. And I'm going to sell the charger, and then, you know, the batteries themselves I'll probably just recycle, honestly. I mean, if someone wants to buy an 8-year-old battery, I doubt it, but the charger would probably be worth something. All right. Coming on here, comments. We got a few more left, and we'll keep moving forward. Only owned Audioroot. Got them around 3 years ago. Work like a charm. Telemetry has saved my ass more than I care to admit. Armand, That's good to know. I mean, I can't count the number of times I've been in a bag and your recorder goes, you know, that little thing, like that's the oh shit sound. And what's cool about the 6 series is they got the power safe mode, so you actually have time to change it out, and you can change out the power without losing. You can literally pull all the power and you've got like 5 or 10 seconds before you put a battery back in. So yeah, but knowing the time and how much time you have left, that not only does it save your ass, but it also saves time and frustration and worry and concern and therapy 10 years from now. Okay, good to know though, John, too, that those that these are reliable. I mean, I'd hope they would be. I asked them about warranty. They said 90 days. I'm like, that kind of sucks. Should be at least a year. All right, so let's see here. B-Roll Audio says, I've been going back and forth between AUDIOROOT and a PSC triple play. How big of a deal is it to only have one power source? Good to see you, by the way, B-Roll Audio. I want to read this twice because B-Roll Audio is a channel member, and I want to hook him up. I've been going back and forth between AUDIOROOT and a PSC triple play. You know, okay, so I'm not familiar with the PSC triple play. How big of a deal is it to only have one power source? Let's pull that up on the screen real quick. PSC triple play. Let me familiarize myself with that. Okay. Oh, okay, it's just a BDS. That's all it is. Now I'm with you. Okay, so here's the triple play. Oh, okay, so B-Roll Audio, this would be huge for you because you have, the triple play is just like the BDS for remote audio. So having one battery source for that, you have the advantage of the telemetry, which means how much time you have left and how much power you're drawing and all of that kind of stuff with the Neo. And it costs the same as, I mean, these things are less than the MP1s used to be. I think I paid $280 per battery for those 68 watt hour batteries 8 years ago. But this Neo version would be really good because you don't have to have the technology with another BDS or a specialized system to do so, if I'm making any sense there. Thank you so much for the comment. All right, so B-Roll Audio. Okay, so Martin says, hey Michael, can you recommend the remote BDS, or would you rather look at the AUDIOROOT ones? I need to power a MixPre 10.2 and a Wizicom MCR 54. That's some serious wireless you got right there. You know, I think it's personal preference. I have to fairly say that I have not had personal experience with the AUDIOROOT BDS, except I like the digital OLED display and the information that it gives you directly on the BDS. The remote audio BDS or the PSC version that B-Roll Audio is talking about doesn't give you all of that information. And also, if you're using other batteries that are not the Neos, that don't have the telemetry on the actual battery, you can still see the telemetry with the AUDIOROOT BDS. So you're gonna get more functionality out of it. For me, I'm already invested in the remote audio BDS, so I got I ordered a third one because I'm building a third kind of like a harness system that it's like called a no bag system because I'm not wearing a bag again. So let's see here. Good question, Martin. Really good question. Jean says, if you completely discharge Neo and connect a charger, you must wait a few hours for recovery. It looks like the battery has died, but no. On the MixPre menu, set 14 volt lithium ion. John, that's a really good comment, and thank you for putting that in there. Most of, like he's saying that make sure you set the correct battery type to the that is 14 volt, not 12 volt. In the MixPre or the Sound Devices 8 series or the 6 series or the Zaxcom Nova or whatever you're using, and make sure that that battery is set correctly, because that's a really good point. Because what he's saying is, and I'm glad you said that, John, because that could have slipped by me real fast if I just installed in it and really wasn't thinking about it, is that if I go past, like if one of them was on 12 volt, let's say, setting for the battery type, and then it got below, first of all, it's really bad for the battery, number one. Number two, then he's saying it adds a few hours to the charging. But it speaks volumes to the fact that this charger here can actually recover a battery, it sounds like. Maybe there's some sort of like recovery mode. Yeah, that's great, John. Thank you so much for the comment. Really excellent information there. What BDS system do you use with the Audioroot, Michael? Thank you. Well, I just got the Audioroot today, so technically I don't use any. But when I do put it into my system, it will be the remote audio. I have a BDS4 and a BDS4U. I've already got two of them. This works with it, and remember telemetry. I shake it and you can see the display. It's kind of cool, right? You know, and the telemetry shows, and pretty awesome. And just a reminder, guys, just in case you weren't here earlier, that you do see the battery charge remaining, how many cycles it has done, and the temperature, which is really amazing. You know, I do have to comment, really kind of a side comment real quick. I do this with computers, audio gear, everything. Like, I squeeze every inch of life out of every piece of equipment I own. And a lot of it, you know, some of it's like a business decision, but, you know, but when you do upgrade and you wait and you wait and you wait and you wait, some of you probably seen my video about like, I'm not upgrading. And A, you get the most value out of your gear. B, when you do upgrade, you're like it's like you went to the future, because this is like light years beyond my NP system, and it just it's fun to geek out and see. So, okay, so here we go. Okay, oh, I want to know about this low hum thing, because this is important to me, guys, for these streams, because I want to keep it simple. I don't mind just plugging in a lot. Low hum on your audio is going in and out. Interesting. Sounds like ground hum. Oh, that's gross. But wonder if it's a short somewhere. Well, Chris, it's a Deity WLAV going into an ATEM Mini. I'll have to listen back and when the stream is done and see, because I don't want any hums. This is a sound channel. That can't happen. All right, so all right, and B-roll audio. The biggest thing that's appealing to me about the Audioroot BDS is the information it'll show you. The reason I was asking about the PSC is that you can use 3 power inputs at the same time. Oh, interesting. That's really cool, B-roll audio. I had no idea that you could actually do 3 simultaneous inputs into that BDS. So it will give you a very kind of supercharged system. I can see that being an advantage over the remote audio versions. I'm not sure about the Audioroot version. Let's take a look and see the specs on that. And we're gonna go over here to screen share, and let's go to Audioroot and take a look at that bad boy. Yeah, you can tell just by looking at it you want it. I mean, that's me. It's like I look at something, I go, ooh, that's got cool lights, so I need that. That's like, okay, wait, I better look at the features first. All right, so there are several options, as you can see here. Let's think about like what would be small for a bag. It looks like, let's look at this one, the eSmart. Let's see if I can get I just want to look at the connectors and see. Okay, so that has 1 power input. So yeah, I mean, if you need the extended life on one battery and you can't disconnect, I could see how 3 power inputs would be really powerful. Like if you ran a 98 watt battery into, let's say, like a mix pre recording, you know, some sound design, or I mean just something crazy, you could go probably 24 hours with that, if not longer. So depending upon the amount of equipment you need to power, if you need it absolutely uninterrupted, having the multiple power sources, I think, would be really valuable. But for my workflow, typically I can change batteries. Just like for the Mix Pre 3, for instance, if I'm using that like on a harness rig, and that's all I'm powering with a 48 watt hour smart battery, I can run that 16, 18 hours without having to change. And that's the baby version of this, about half this size. So great question. Good comment. Thank you. All right. Martin says, thanks, man. Yeah, the MCR54 is some serious wireless, but I'm still waiting for my order to arrive. What a bummer. Thanks for your input and stay safe. Yeah, thanks, Martin. Enjoy that WYSICOM. Every time I see it, I'm like, ooh. And I think, and there's another guy, Greg, I think, picked up. No, was it you, Greg, that picked up? Oh, Norm Claire. There's another guy who watches this channel who picked up one of those. I saw he been doing some videos on them. It looks really great. All right. Oh, the hum goes away when you touch your laptop. You got to be kidding me. So it is a ground issue. Holy moly. Yeah. I'm just going to, I don't think there's like, I could like do a beat, zzz. Here you go, in and out. It's kind of silly. But I don't know why. I mean, the A10 Mini is only a 2-prong connector for power. The lav is connected into the mic input. Yeah, something's funky. I'm trying to make sure everything else is off, that you guys aren't hearing something. But the fact that that's a great comment, by the way, Ilari, because that means it's absolutely a ground issue. Okay, so all right. Thanks for the reality check. Yeah, no problem. B-roll audio, appreciate you. Okay, so we still have more to do. We have one more big thing to do. So I asked them, when I picked this up at True Audio, I said, listen, what do I use for AC power converter, battery eliminator? So when you're on set, if there's electric, I'm asking for a stinger. I'm not going to mess around with batteries unless it's a really quick thing. But typically, if I'm going to be sitting there all day, that's the last thing I want to worry about. So Blackbird, who I think they make carts, they're here in the US somewhere, kind of new on my radar, but they make a battery eliminator. Yeah, look, it says Blackbird carts on it. And here, let me use the other camera so you guys can see. So this is the battery eliminator that would go inside of the cup here, which I put somewhere. Here's the battery cup. And then, of course, it allows you to connect AC power to the to your bag. This is a priceless tool to me and a necessary one. And in fact, if it didn't exist, there's only a couple companies that make this for the smart batteries. I wasn't going to get the smart battery because to me it was more important to have the right workflow than it was to have telemetry, because I knew that I needed to have the converter, which I have for the NP battery for AC power, which I'm going to sell since I'm not going to use that system anymore. So when I'm working with electric, I can just plug in and I'm good to go. So that's the final setup. So 3 batteries, a couple of these cups for my BDS systems if you already have BDS systems, the charger here, as you can see, the battery eliminator with the case, which is here. It's important to have a case for this, by the way. You can't do this without a case. Said that, that's probably about, it wasn't cheap, but it would have cost less than 3 brand new MP1s and a charger in 2012. So yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I didn't cover on these batteries. Let's take a look one more time at the site, and because this is kind of me learning with you guys on this. Like literally after this, they're just going to go in the carts. I'm not going to put too much time and energy on a battery. I just want to know how it works. I want to know what it does for me. And so a couple, just to recap, shaking the battery is going to be how you see the display, as you can see here, and you can see the it's 14.4 volts, 98 watt hours, and I'm trying to think what else to know about this. Oh, look at the operating temperature, 10 to 45 degrees Celsius. Discharge minus 20 to minus 60 degrees Celsius. Curious if anyone discharges their batteries here. Mine never really sit that long to do that, but yeah. And this is the big thing for me. Battery pack remaining capacity, the voltage, the current draw. This is important. This is important. It's all important, and the hours and minutes remaining based upon how much you're using, and also the temperature. Like if it's too cold or too hot, you're gonna know, because there is I'm gonna put this, a storage operation temperature should be what it's interesting, it says charge 10 to 45 degrees Celsius, discharge, but it's not giving me an operation temperature for usage in there that I can see. But I think that's about it. Unless you guys have any questions or comments, I'll follow up with you on these, but I'm really excited to put it in the system. I think they're going to work out great. I'm going to get the other 3 of these charging. And I've got some new stuff coming here. I was thinking that it's kind of crunchy when I put it in there. It kind of scared me a little bit. Let's see if it charges. You know how some of the chargers, here, let me go do it one at a time. Okay, see how so the charger actually is doing one at a time, I believe. 1 cycles. Yeah, so it's waiting for one to charge and then going to start charging the other, which is exactly how my charger works. But that I might think about that 4-bay, but I would really need something where I'm using these a lot more, I think, because I do so much cart work as well. I may not need a larger charger, but if I start doing more smaller cart work then I probably will invest in the 4-bay. I think it was Martin who made that suggestion. That's a really good suggestion. Sorry, so it looks like we got all through the comments here. Just for example, my MixPre 10.2 on a 96neo works for about 14 hours. That's incredible. That's incredible, John. I mean, 14 hours out of this thing. And so I am building a rig that I'll be sharing with you. I've been talking a little bit about channel members, which is kind of like more of a deep dive, where we've done 3 workshops which are available right now. 1 recording dialogue in cars, also 1 wiring workshop, and then also the no bag system, which are live workshops with Q&A for channel members. So if you're interested in in-depth tutorials and workshops, please consider joining as a channel member at the Mix Junkie level, so you can get those perks. And other than that, I think that's about it out of me right now. There's some more gear coming down the pipe. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I will be doing some gear reviews for some upcoming stuff, so definitely stay posted on that. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit the notifications tab so you know when I launch that. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. We'd love to have you as part of the community. And we geek out here on production sound for professionals, and that's kind of what this channel is about. It's just having fun and talking gear, which is what we love to do. So thank you everyone for being here, and I'll look forward to seeing everyone very soon, and have a great day.